want to hopefully grab some knowledge and use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about, instead of doing a lot of talking, I'm going to go very quickly into my background, but then I want to learn a little bit about how much you've learned over the past couple of days. And this is going to be kind of a group participation because I'm going to ask you some questions and I'm going to give some prizes for the correct answers. So I want you all to pay very close attention. Now the prizes are not going to be Trubadger or insights, I can't do that. But I do have some, I had to scramble for prizes. So I've got some prizes. So I was born in Laredo, Texas. I now live in Austin, Texas. Married, 3 daughters, 5 grandkids. And the grandkids actually are one of the reasons why I got into writing the book. And I'll explain that a little bit. I've got a degree in radio, television, film from the University of Texas. I moved back to Laredo after graduating and I opened up the first computer store in Laredo, Texas. So that was back in the 80s. Sold Apple computers and Commodore computers, for those of you who remember those. I'm an old guy. Yeah. I taught kids programming on a computer camp that we set up on Apple and Commodore computers. And then 10 years later, the big box stores came in and started selling computers. And they basically made me have to change my strategy, right? Couldn't compete with Best Buy and CompUSA. So I went on from that to into the education arena. I went on to teach K-12 teachers about internet. That's when the internet was coming out, right? And so the internet was this new thing, and so I thought, well, I've got to teach teachers how to use internet. So I taught at Texas A&M International University, and I got immersed in internet. I got immersed in everything about the internet. I decided to move to Austin, Texas, and I started a web design company. Okay? And there was a connection between internet and crypto. I didn't pay very much attention to crypto. In 2015, someone told me about Bitcoin. I didn't pay attention to it. I thought that's for geeks, it's for computer nerds. You can't do anything with it. And so I didn't pay attention to it. But in 2016, someone else told me about Bitcoin. This time I looked at it, and I noticed that there was an infrastructure. There were people buying and selling. There were exchanges. There were ATMs. And I thought, well, this is interesting. So I went out to an ATM, and I put in some money, and I got this piece of paper, and that was my Bitcoin. And I thought, okay, what am I going to do with this? And I then had to create a wallet and add that Bitcoin to my wallet. And I was telling my wife about this, and I'm sure a lot of you all have skeptical spouses, right? So my wife was, this is so dumb. You know, a piece of paper, this is money, what did you do with my money? And so I had to tell her, no, this is the next big thing. And I was just very excited about it because I could see the potential back then. I had seen the internet boom, and I had lived through the internet and how you had to connect. And for these, there's a lot of y'all who remember the days of dial-up modems, right? And the noises that they made, and how if somebody picked up the phone, they would disconnect it. And all of the things that we had to learn, all the new terms, right? And there's RAM and ROM and floppies and all kinds of stuff. So I thought, okay, this is the next big thing, and I want to be on this next big thing. So it was at that time that I kind of just jumped in with both feet. I started going to meetups, conferences. I started reading everything I could about the internet. I learned about mining and trading bots and exchanges, and I just realized that there was this big need for educating people in the crypto space because there was all of this whole new stuff that people didn't know about. And around that time, I was researching trading bots, and I tried a lot of different trading bots because I wanted to learn what they did. And I had a friend who created a trading bot. And then I came across Digibot, and it was so much different than all the other bots that I had seen and tried. And I could see the simplicity, and I could see what Doug was trying to do, and I just thought, this is what the future's going to be. So I started using Digibot. And at the same time, I started realizing that my community, my age group, my baby boomers, were gonna miss out unless they knew about this. And so I thought, I've gotta write a book, a simple book, something easy, a quick read, that will help people understand this whole new space. So my book has things like the history of money, the history of Bitcoin, government regulations, how to make money, where to buy Bitcoin, terminology, ways that you can get free Bitcoin, and more importantly, and something that we haven't talked about, is how to report your Bitcoin earnings. And not just Bitcoin, but your crypto earnings, right? Because we're all here to make money, and hopefully we're gonna make a lot of money, but you know who's gonna want some of that money, right? Right. When we haven't talked about that, this is a big thing. So, in my book, and on my website, there's different tips and techniques and things that you can do, software that you can use, that you're going to use if you're going to be using Digibot. If you're going to be using Digibot, you're going to want to report your profits to the IRS, because the IRS is going to ask you, do you own any crypto? And if you say yes, they're going to want to know, well, how much, right? They're already wanting to know more, obviously, if you've been watching the news, and now they want to know if you've got $600 transactions. But they're going to want to know how much money you made. So, on my website, and I'll give you my website at the end of the talk, there's some software that you can get. You can download it for free, to have a free version, but it will generate reports for your CPA or for your accountant that they can then use to plug in that number into your tax return. Okay? Very important. You don't want to mess with the IRS, right? So, once you've got that, if you ever have any questions, I'm available by Zoom or by email to help you to answer your questions. So, I'm a big believer in the community. I'm a big believer in what these guys are doing, and I want to be a big part of that. Okay? So, keeping with the conference theme, everyone here is going to get the book, the ebook version or the softcover version, for 50% off. You just have to use the coupon code Trubadger. Okay? I'll be sending you the link, and I'll show you where the link is at the end of the talk, because the link is a special link that you'll want to go to. I'm also going to be adding an FAQ section to my website, because one of the things that I've found is that when you're talking to people about crypto, you always get the negative Nancy's. You always get people who have objections, right? Some of the common ones that I've heard, Bitcoin is not backed by anything, so why should I get into Bitcoin? Why should I get into cryptos, right? You'll probably hear that. You may have thought of that at some point. So you want to be able to answer that. Again, remember, knowledge is power. You want to be able to answer that objection. Bitcoin can be hacked. Have you all ever heard that one, or someone asked that question? I was at a conference in Dallas for the custom brokers, U.S. custom brokers. And after my talk, someone came up to the microphone and said, well, we'll never use Bitcoin because Bitcoin can get hacked. And I said, well, what do you mean Bitcoin can be hacked? And she said, well, I had some Bitcoin on my computer and they hacked it and they got it. So I said, well, did they hack Bitcoin or did they hack your computer? Did you have a strong password? And she said, well, I didn't really have a strong password. I said, well, they hacked your computer, right? Bitcoin was not hacked, your computer was hacked. So again, knowledge is power. We have to protect our money. As someone said here, we're now the bank, right? So we need to protect our bank. So we have to have a good safe. Another one that I've heard a lot is gold is better than Bitcoin for storing money. And that may have been true before Bitcoin, but it's not true since Bitcoin and other cryptos, right? All right, so time to give away some prizes. All right, so I'm going to have somebody, maybe Corey can help me. So I'm going to ask the question, and you all raise your hand if you know the answer. Corey's going to pick somebody to see if they know the correct answer, okay? So, here's the first question. What is Ether's connection to Ethereum? Is it they're the same thing? Ethereum is a cryptocurrency, Ether is a blockchain. Ether is a cryptocurrency, Ethereum is a blockchain, or Ether is more expensive than Ethereum? Who knows the answer?
They're the same.
Number 3.
Number 3, Ether is a cryptocurrency, Ethereum is a blockchain. Okay, hit the next slide there. Let's see. Answer, Ether is a cryptocurrency, Ethereum is a blockchain. The first prize is this book. It's called The Age of Cryptocurrency. This was the first book I read on my crypto journey. And the person that gave it to me said, read it and then pass it on to somebody. And keep passing it on and help other people learn about cryptocurrency. So, pass it on. All right, next question. Which of these cryptocurrencies is the oldest? Ether, Tether, Dogecoin, or Cardano?
Marty.
Ether? Let's see.
Search it.
Dogecoin. Wow. Dogecoin has been around for a long time. It just now recently made the news because, you know, Elon Musk and Mark Cuban and all those people started talking about it. People made millions. But it started out as a joke, as you all may know. It was a copy of Litecoin, and it's been around forever. But it doesn't do anything, right? It doesn't do anything. And what's really bad about this coin is that there's a constant increasing supply, an unlimited amount of Dogecoin produced every day. I think it's like I don't want to quote, but I think it's like 1 million Doge a week or something like that. So I wrote a Medium article on Trubadger, and the title of the article is Trubadger is not a meme coin. And I'm going to suggest you all read this because, again, knowledge is power. And when people tell you, oh, Trubadger, isn't that just another meme coin like Doge? You're going to say, no, it's not, and here's why. The article is on my website under articles, and so I'll let you all take a look at that, and that's also where you'll find the link to the book. Okay, next. Oh wait, you gotta give a prize. You gotta give a prize. Well, nobody answered that.
No. Nobody answered. No.
I'm gonna give this prize to Corey.
So
Corey, I'm gonna give you this.
oh wow.
Dollar bill.
Doubled it now.
Do you want that dollar bill, or do you want something else?
Door number 2. Oh, wow.
This is the Ethereum coin.
Oh.
Now, no Ethereum on it, not a real Ethereum, but I use this as a conversation starter. Because I'll show this to someone and go, what's that? I go, it's Ethereum. They go, oh, what's Ethereum? And then I'll start talking about Ethereum. And I will then educate you. So here's your Ethereum coin.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, next question. What is the world's most actively traded crypto coin? Bitcoin,
Bitcoin.
Ether, Dogecoin, or Tether?
All of us. All of us. Bitcoin.
Who is that? Right there. Tether. Tether?
Oh, Tether.
You got the right answer.
Doge.
Tether.
Oh.
Tether, Bitcoin, and then Ethereum as of November the 11th.
Oh.
Okay? And why is that? Well, part of the reason is maybe did you Bob, right? USDT. But a lot of people transact in Tether, especially in other countries. They use Tether to buy other coins. Sorry. Thank you. So we need another prize. For this next prize, I want to ask my friend Val to come up.
Magician.
Okay, come on up.
Come on up.
Come on up. You pull the chicken out of the hat.
Rhonda, can you
It's
check
a
your phone?
magician.
Come here. Come here and talk to us. No tricks. Talk to Val.
I'm gonna show something first.
Okay?
Right. I need my hands. So check out this market cap. Yeah. And inside the market cap, there's a Bitcoin. Okay. But I'm gonna do some magic with it. So first, if I hold it here, do the little tap, it disappears. Two taps. Here's again. Yes. So I'm gonna do it more slowly this time. So the Bitcoin turns into the market, and then back to the Bitcoin. Now, if I put the Bitcoin in my pocket right here, and no, okay, and I'm gonna from here in my pocket I have the marker. Now I'm gonna go very, very slowly. So there's the Bitcoin right there. I'm gonna go. I apologize. Again, the coin here, and watch the marker so I don't hide it somewhere. Now, if I do this, it's gonna disappear. But under the marker cap is a Bitcoin.
Oh wow.
Don't spend it all in one place, right? Now, that is an official Bitcoin that is probably worth about $20 on Amazon, so. Don't get too excited. Now, one more question. All right, what is the blockchain? Public digital ledger of transactions that records information in a way that makes it difficult. A chain of blocks which contain information. A digital database in which transactions are recorded chronologically and viewable but not changeable. Or the technology at the heart of Bitcoin and other virtual tools. Who knows?
A chain of blocks with contain information. Oh.
Lower your hands for a sec. Just kidding.
The second one. A chain of blocks which contain information.
Information.
And everybody agree with that, or does somebody have a different
Yes.
answer? Oh,
Aaron.
All of the above.
correct.
Ah.
There's a lot of different ways to explain blockchain. The easiest way is just a big database that's online. I mean, in simple terms. I mean, it does a whole lot of other stuff, but that's why we're all here, is because of blockchain. All right, so you get
$100.
my book, The Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Cryptocurrencies. Okay, so let's go ahead and go on. All right, so we're going to finish up, and there's some interesting quotes here that I want to point out to people. Fooling around with alternating current is just a waste of time. Nobody will ever use it. Thomas Edison. No one will ever need more than 637K on a personal computer. Bill Gates. There's no chance the iPhone is going to get any significant market share. Steve Ballmer from Microsoft. Okay? Here's one that's kind of interesting. Jamie Dimon. Terrible store of value, will not survive, will be stopped, going nowhere, a fraud, not my cup of tea. I have no interest in it, fool's gold. Okay, next. July 2021, JP Morgan just became the first big bank to give retail wealthy clients access to cryptocurrency funds.
How come they won't let me use my card?
Yeah. So the takeaway, just because someone is an expert in one field does not make them an expert in cryptocurrency. You need to become knowledgeable so you can be a crypto crusader. Okay, so here's another quote. And I sincerely believe with you that banking establishments are more dangerous than standing armies, and that the principle of spending money to be paid by posterity under the name of funding is but swindling the futurity on a large scale. Bank paper must be suppressed. The circulating media must be restored. Thomas Jefferson. He warned about banks back then. So, we all need to become crypto crusaders here. Okay, crypto crusaders. Cryptocurrency is their passion. This should be now your new passion, right? Trubadger, Insight, crypto. Crypto crusaders are people who want to free themselves from fiat systems. Crypto crusaders use cryptocurrencies as their insurance against fiat currency. They explore new technologies and commit to being lifelong learners. We're old, but we still have a lot of learning to do. Some of us, I should say, not all of us are. They're risk tolerant and they stay calm between the peaks and valleys. You've heard that a lot today. They focus on long term. They do not use terms like when moon and when Lambo. Right? We are not moon boys and moon girls. We keep our wealth in our hands and in our control. We strive to eliminate the needs for banks. We generate our own wealth. We can move our money freely without intermediaries. We are a part of creating the future. We share our passion and information and educate people on how they can become a crypto crusader. Okay? So, in closing, as a crypto crusader, it's your job to lead this conference and to tell at least 100 people in the next 2 months about cryptocurrencies and tell them why they need to buy some Trubadger. Brandon is a math guy. If 500 people tell 100 people in 2 months, that's 50,000 people. If 50,000 people each buy $2,000 of Trubadger, what is that?
100
How much? 100 billion. Okay, next.
Yeah.
So, you think you can tell 100 people? How bad do you want to reach your goals? Right? A goal is just a dream unless you put a time frame to that. So we don't want goals unless there's a time frame. The time frame should be 2 months. Oops. Set your goals and then stick to it. 2 people a day for 60 days is 120 people. It's all about motivation. Remember, you're building your future. You're building a community. So, let's get out there and let's remove a couple of zeros off the price of these Trubadger tokens. Wouldn't that be a nice Christmas present? So, something interesting happened to me while I was at Starbucks this morning. I was sitting next to a guy who had a t-shirt on that said, what was the Robin Hood stock that went out? GameStop. He had GameStop. And I said, hey, how are you doing at GameStop? He goes, oh, I'm doing good. I bought some. And I said, did you buy any Doge? He goes, oh, no, I didn't buy. I bought. He said, I bought a little bit, but no. I said, well, have you heard of Trubadger? And he said, no, what's that? So I told him about Trubadger, and I said, you need to go check it out. Go to the website, check it out. I said, that's a coin that with real tokenomics. And he said, thanks, I'm gonna take a look at that. So the point is that no matter where you are, you need to engage people. Start a conversation, ask them. Use these coins that I showed you, and let people know. Get out of your comfort zone. I mean, I know sometimes it's hard to just go up to somebody and say, hey, how you doing? But sometimes there's opportunities. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you have a goal, if you all wrote down that you want to make $1 million or $5 million or $20 million, it's going to take us all to tell more people about this. So it's our responsibility to help get to where we want. Okay? And that's it. Thank you very much.